All right, it's time to break down your Dynasty football trades. If you want your trades to be considered for this video series, it's quite simple. All you gotta do is join our Discord with the link in the description, and then anytime that you paste a screenshot of a trade with context in our channel, we actually have a specific channel for Dynasty trades. It's called Dynasty Trades. Who would have thought? Anytime you post your trades in there, it is considered for this video series. Now, I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. When I sent out the notification to let people know I was recording, normally we take about 5-6 trades from it. Because it's just me today, I'm going to say YOLO. I'm going to try and get through every single one of the trades that have been sent on the Discord just for fun. I might skip a couple, but just for fun. I mean, let's see how many we can get through today and how many we can grade for you guys. All right, so the first trade is from Habs1896. He says, teams receiving Metcalf. He decided he was not going to make the playoffs, so he became a seller. And the guy who is receiving Allen has an easy schedule sitting at 7-3. In the next 5 weeks, he's playing 4 teams that already sold most of their assets, so he's in the playoffs for sure. And so now having Lamar and Hurts, he wanted the stack of AJ Brown and also Sanders with a possibility in a PPR league with Allen coming back. Okay, let's have a look at the trade. So, looks like the left side of this trade gets a DK Metcalf, Kadarius Toney, Khalil Herbert, a first, we don't know where that first is, and a third. And then the right side of the trade, this person is sending away Keenan Allen, AJ Brown, and Miles Sanders. Okay, this is a pretty even trade. My initial thoughts are, if he's 7-3, I understand why you would want to get AJ Brown, but I would not want to be acquiring Keenan Allen and sending away a Kadarius Toney who just arrived in Kansas City. I think this is where I have the problem with the trade. Also, you're giving up future draft capital. Miles Sanders and Khalil Herbert, even though I've been a huge Miles Sanders buy the entire offseason, I don't think there's all that much difference between them as far as their dynasty value is concerned. So, I mean, the way I'm looking at it is Keenan Allen and Kadarius Toney, very much a wash. I'll prefer the Toney side for the youth and the unknown upside in that offense. DK Metcalf and AJ Brown, you obviously prefer AJ Brown, but if DK Metcalf was able to get an elite quarterback, that could be very even. It's even for Khalil and Miles Sanders in my mind, especially if David Montgomery leaves next year. So now we're sitting here and the left side of this team receives an extra first round pick. So I'll definitely take that side. I understand that they're competing, but I personally feel like if you're 7-3, you have all this depth, you probably didn't need to make this trade in order to compete. So that's where I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to go with team 1, the left side here of this deal. All right, the second trade is from Jerna Miller. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It says, I'm the side sending CD out. My other wide receivers are AJ Brown, T. Higgins, Treylon Burks, and Allen Lazard. The 23 first is going to be top 4. Oof, okay. Look, I am all for buying CD Lamb. He's definitely in my top 5 when it comes to dynasty rankings for wide receivers. But this feels like an overpay, and it's just my opinion. We always try and be as honest as possible. But if this were to be a little bit more even, honestly, I feel like you would probably keep that 23 first. At 24 first and a second round pick, as well as Jahan Dotson, who could absolutely break out next year if they start using him over Curtis Samuel. I don't know. I think this is a slight overpay for CeeDee Lamb, who, again, he's only 23 years old. He's showing that he can break out and be a true alpha for this team. But at the same time, they are looking for options to replace Amari Cooper. Still, I'm a big fan of CeeDee Lamb, but I think this is a slight overpay in my mind. All right, B-Dog, I saw this trade. I don't know what format you're playing on. I would suggest a swap to sleeper. He says 12-man, 26 keeper. Made this trade today. I am the team on the bottom. Needed help at wide receiver and was willing to dump Lawrence. Had plenty of second round picks. All right, I am grading this B-Dog as if it's a dynasty. When they say keeper, I don't know how many keepers you have. There's so many different settings in keeper. I'm going to grade it or give reactions to it as if it's a dynasty super flex trade. So you sent Trevor and Mark Andrews. Oh no. Okay. I mean, look, in keeper leagues, in dynasty leagues, I just cannot get rid of Mark Andrews. His value is immense. He's the tight end 1 right now in dynasty, deservingly so. 27 years old. I do like that TJ Hawkinson is getting an incredible target share in Minnesota, but Ah, man. And the 2-1, that's an early second round pick as well in 23, which is, I love the rookies in this class. I got to go with the Mark Andrews side of this deal. I think you should have gotten a little bit more for sending away Mark Andrews personally. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, yeah, I think you could have gotten more. Just my opinion, though. All right, Danny Bergman. I saw all these trades. I'm not going to be able to get through all of them, but I just wanted to show everyone this one. The bruh trade of the week, if you will. What is the context of this deal? What is Arshern doing? What's my guy doing? He needs some help. Check up on my guy. It says top team is a young team that's just outside the playoffs. Bottom team is in full rebuild. How are you telling me the bottom team is in full rebuild and they just traded for 2 players who are on IR and got rid of 3 first-round picks as well as a young stud dynasty running back who's in everyone's top 5? I don't know. This trade doesn't make any sense to me. This is the bruh trade of the week, as in, bruh, what happened? Check up on your friends. All right, on to Benny Yes Sir. He says, I'm the one getting Dylan. I'm currently contending team, and I was looking to build a bit more for the future. I have been trying to get some younger running backs, and my wide receiver core is great, so I felt okay making this move. Okay, so you moved Drake London. Look, I think the big question for me is, where is this first-round pick? If this is a top 3 first-round pick, top 4 first-round pick, then I do prefer the A.J. Dillon side of this a trade. But if it's a late first-round pick in A.J. Dillon, I'm easily taking Drizzy Drake London. The situation is not good for Kyle Pitts and Drake London there with the quarterback, but we bet on talent long-term in Dynasty. So I don't know how to grade that one because context is going to be important as to where that first-round pick is. The top 6, top 5, top 4 in this 23 class, I think are going to truly shake everything up in Dynasty. All right, White Shadow. He says 10 team Superflex half PPR start 10. I'm rebuilding with 423 firsts and 3 seconds. I also have 2 firsts and 24 and 2 seconds and 24. Have the 101 locked up. Hello, Bijan. So would replace Pierce with him. Okay. I haven't looked at this trade, but I'm assuming that means Dameon Pierce. And I've been a big advocate of selling Dameon Pierce right now at his highest. According to Keep Trade Cut, he's currently the RB9 in Dynasty. That's absolutely ridiculous. Dameon Pierce has been great this year, but it's been based off of volume. He's been efficient, but look, like, volume is the reason that he is valuable right now. In my eyes, as a talent, he's a very replaceable running back. And with all the free agents that are coming into next year and all the running backs in this class, I find it really difficult to believe that it's just going to be his backfield next year. I'm a huge advocate of selling Dameon Pierce on a high. So let's see what he got. So you got a second and a first. I mean, I would take a first. I would take a mid first for Dameon Pierce. So I'm more than happy with this. There's about 6 running backs, maybe more, that I prefer over Dameon Pierce in the 23 class alone. Okay. Next trade, he says 10 team title contending. Bit of a weird trade because my starters are on the older side, like Cup, Hill, CMC, Connor. Wanted to get a bit younger with London and take a couple shots on Elijah. Okay. So let's have a look. So you receive Gibson, Elijah Moore, and Drizzy Drake. You send away Matt Ryan. I mean, you know, recovered his starting job, but what's his value in Dynasty? It's just a flyer. Gus Edwards, I kind of feel the same way about him. Mike Evans, this is a great opportunity to sell high on Mike Evans before Tom Brady leaves him. Cole Kmet is emerging, 25 first. I mean, look, I'm definitely going to take the side of the Drake London here. And I would do that as well if I was a contender. Antonio Gibson is overhated. And I'll take Antonio Gibson over Brian Robinson any day in Dynasty football. Elijah Moore, if there is a quarterback change, could absolutely revive his career. We love his talent. So I would easily send the right side away to get Gibson here. All right, Brendo Nintendo. No context, but I mean, yeah, look, if you're going to sell Austin Eckler, this is the kind of return that you would want for sure. Aging running back. So that probably went to a contender. This makes a lot of sense for both teams. I wouldn't pay 2 firsts for Eckler, but that doesn't mean that other people wouldn't. Next trade. All right, we're not going to cover that one. I had a sneaky little peek at this one. Wow, someone wanted Deshaun Watson desperately. Was this, my only question is, was this to a Browns fan, because this is a huge overpay. I mean, yes, we should be paying premium dollar for Deshaun Watson. I truly believe that when he comes back, he will be an elite quarterback. We've shown that, regardless of what you think about him he's shown that, regardless of what you think about him as a person, he has shown to be an elite quarterback. I don't know, man. I feel like you should, like, this is a huge overpay for Deshaun Watson. A huge overpay. I mean, right now, he's like on the edge of like an early 23 first alone. So to get 3 firsts, 2 seconds, 3 seconds and 3 firsts. Yeah, this is an overpay for Deshaun Watson, but he's going to come back. He's going to be a stud. Might take a while to get the rust off. Don't forget the 3 years that he was a starter in the NFL, he never failed to finish top 5. Okay. And in those 3 years, he scored collectively 100 touchdowns while completing a very high percentage of his passes. Dual threat guy. So yeah, I want to buy Deshaun Watson, but I wanted to buy him when I made a video about him 7 months ago, when he was valued as the quarterback 25 in Dynasty, and you could get him for like a 2nd round pick. This is insane. This is a huge overpay. You should not pay. I mean, look, at max, you want to pay 2 firsts for Deshaun Watson at this point. At max. All right, let's move on. I see Brintendo's here again. Let's see, Kyle Pitts. This is a good buy low on Kyle Pitts. Obviously, the injury just happened. From sources that I trust, it's not going to impact him long term. So I like this deal, getting him for a 24 first and a 23 second. If Kyle Pitts wasn't injured, you wouldn't be able to get that deal done, regardless of how poor his play has been. It's very attributed to the system they're in, the role he was playing, and the quarterback he's attached to. So their offense is so simple, so boring, and it's an offense that almost no one uses anymore in the NFL. So I like this as a buy low for Kyle Pitts, who's, again, reminder, 22 years old still? There's plenty of bright days ahead. All right, Dante, looks like you got AJ Brown, so you got Alvin Kamara and Terry McLaurin. Okay. You know, context would be important here, Dante, because I don't know if, you're competing and you really need help at the running back spot. In general, Kamara is not the running back I would like to trade for in Dynasty. We know he's going to have a suspension next year. It's probably going to be at least 6 games because he did break the league's protocol. So in general, Kamara is not a running back that I'm looking to trade for. Also, he's an aging running back. He's 27 years old. He'll only be older next year. And we sent away AJ Brown, who's definitely in his prime and has been, fantastic in Philadelphia. A lot of people's top 5 wide receiver. I'll take AJ Brown personally over CeeDee Lamb. That's kind of where I value him. So I'm going to have to go with the AJ Brown side of this deal. Context would be important here. But even if I'm trying to get Kamara, I feel like I should have gotten something back on the AJ Brown side. Or sorry, I feel like I should have gotten more on the Alvin Kamara side. Yeah, just trying to get my honest thoughts here, y'all. Winners pick Pete. All right, no context in this one, but pretty simple deal. We send Nick Chubb away, we get Claypool in the first. I mean, look, right now Nick Chubb, aging running back, 26 years old, will be 27 next year, obviously, but he is one of those running backs who's built to last. So this is a pretty even deal. This makes a lot of sense. If I'm contending, I'm happy to pay that for Nick Chubb. Brintendo, I'm pretty sure we looked at all these trades. Try not to send your trades twice, guys. I promise we look at all of them. I promise you. Dante. All right, so you receive DJ Moore and Dameon Pierce for Tyreek Hill. Again, this is one of those ones where context would be important. If you're competing and you have strength at your running back room and you get Tyreek Hill to help your wide receiver room, I'm more than happy to do that. Tyreek Hill is an older wide receiver, so you do have a limited window with him. But at the same time, y'all know my feelings on Dameon Pierce. Just a running back that I believe is very replaceable. Didn't get the draft capital that you would want. Hard to see him getting a long-term deal with the investment that they made in him. It's very rare that a running back drafted where he was drafted gets long-term capital. That's just the truth. And as far as DJ Moore goes, my thoughts on DJ Moore have been well documented all offseason. He was ranked as a top 12 guy for most people in Dynasty. I had him nowhere near that. Around wide receiver, I think I had him around wide receiver 28. And I got roasted because people were like, "Are you kidding me? DJ Moore's incredible. Baker Mayfield's going to unlock DJ Moore. We all know that Baker Mayfield's incredible." I'm like, "Are you sure Baker Mayfield's incredible?" But at the same time, I like at least throwing him into this deal because if they do get a quarterback in next year's draft, he could potentially be a wide receiver 2 for your team. So I think context is important here. I don't think any side really won or lost. I would say that's a pretty even deal. And then the next one, he sent Nico Collins away for Brian Robinson. As much as I'm not a Brian Robinson fan, I'm more than happy to take him in this deal. I have Nico Collins somewhere around a mid to late third round value in a rookie draft, and I would say Brian as an early third value. Most people would have him way higher than that, but again, just very replaceable running back for me. Doesn't do anything spectacular. All right, Faye Jr. says 16 team, start 8 PPR. Y'all will love this. Made this trade 3 hours before Cup goes down. Oh no, who got screwed then? Was number 6 teetering on the brink of missing the playoffs, but with Deshaun coming back, I said F it. I want to try to win. And I love that mentality, Faye. No matter what this trade looks like, I love that mentality for you. Oh, didn't work out. Still hoping for a chip run with the current roster. What do you think of the value before and after the injury? Okay, let's have a look. So you got Cup and Eckler. So yeah, you really said, fuck it, let's go all in. Hey. Okay. Look, it's not any sort of egregious overpay. The fact that you were able to just get Cam Akers off your team feels incredible, just in general. You guys know I've been not a Cam Akers guy since the Achilles injury. I think if you put this into a trade calculator before the trade, it probably is like an even deal. After the trade, it's probably saying that the Terry McLaurin side of this wins. Cooper Kupp, while he's been incredible this year, has not been someone I have advised to buy. And I'm not going to victory lap some sort of injury because that's stupid, because he was incredible this year. However, look, Cooper Kupp's injury is weird to me, okay? Because we were told it was a high ankle sprain, but he had surgery. How many wide receivers can you guys think of that have had a high ankle sprain that turned into a surgery? The last dominant one that I can think of, and you're not going to like this, was Michael Thomas. We don't like when aging wide receivers get surgeries on their ankle. What went wrong to force that to happen? And we don't know enough information yet. I think he makes a full recovery, but what does that team look like? Will he still be preferred that way? And will he be his same self? So look, at this point, after the injury, I'm definitely taking the Terry McLaurin side of this. Terry, who I think is massively underrated by most of the fantasy community, and we're seeing him being unlocked pretty much by Taylor Heineke. I'll take the Terry McLaurin side of this, but I understand how this was an effort. Let's go all in before Cup went down, because you had, top 3 at each position got in return, Cup and Eckler. But yeah, this could be one of those ones that could hurt you long term depending on your depth. Okay. We had a similar trade to this earlier. Again, I think context. Benny, I don't know if it was your trade or not. But we looked at a trade like this earlier. I think the context is super important. Like, how early is that 23 first? That would really be helping me give my answer. BMac says 12-team Superflex start 10. Which side are you taking? 23 first is very late. Oh, I don't care if it's very late. I'll take it. I'll take it for Dameon Pierce. And then there's no way DJ Moore should be valued as a first round pick right now. Definitely, I'll take the pick side of this deal. Look, again, it's totally okay for everyone to have different opinions. And it's okay if you're watching this and you think I'm being unfair for Dameon Pierce. At the same time, let me give you some examples of Dameon Pierce and why I think we should be concerned about him getting a long-term deal. You guys remember when Jordan Howard was killing it back in his heyday? Okay. You remember when Jay Ajayi was killing it back in his heyday? How about Phillip Lindsay, Myles Gaskin? How about James Robinson? Just came off a top 12 finish, and then they drafted Travis Etienne in the first round. How about Elijah Mitchell? He looked incredible, and then they traded for CMC. Point being, when you spend that kind of draft capital on a running back, which is what Dameon Pierce is in that category with, not very high draft capital, it's rare that they get long-term deals or they're prioritized by their teams. So I will definitely take the first. Again, there's about 6 running backs I like over Dameon in this year's class. So I'd be happy to do that. DJ says, 12-team Superflex tight end premium PPR rebuilding. Have 5 more 23 mid to late firsts. Nice. 4 seconds. Oh my goodness, you got a treasure chest of picks. My other notable players are Lance. Sorry for your loss. I've been there in a lot of leagues. Burks, I love it. Watson, love it. Wandale, okay. Komet, okay, nice. Got some good pieces. So essentially, you were able to move. DJ, how did you get that done? Well done. I mean, we just need to give a golfer's clap in the chat for DJ here. This is a great trade for Lamar Jackson. There's no way Lamar Jackson should have gone for this little amount in a Superflex league. So really well done. Richie James means nothing to me. Mac Jones, I mean, I feel more shaky on him before I did this season, and I was already very concerned about what his fantasy value would ever become. Elijah Moore, a talented wide receiver, no doubt, but I'm taking the Lamar Jackson side of this easy. Quality over quantity and that sort of deal. And that is all the trades on today's video. So wow, I mean, how long did that take? How long was I going there? Almost 25 minutes. Wasn't able to really break it down as we normally do and fully dissect these trades, but I had a fun time doing this. This would be impossible with 2 people with this many trades, but this was really fun. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it and point out any trade. I mean, you can see the people's names, so you can point out any trade. If you think I'm wrong, if you have a different opinion, that's okay. I mean, we all contribute to the atmosphere and we all bring our opinions. So that's a good thing, not a bad thing. But appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. A lot of content coming up. Drop a like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch
now,
it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/FantasyLand fam.